And the next person I want to introduce you to is a gentleman by the name of Jordan Shaw, and he's about to share with you his why he came to Powur. And by the way, he didn't know anything about sales. He was in the cloud IT space as an engineer for 17 years with companies like Dell and Google. So he had no sales experience, no solar experience, and 17 months ago, September of 2021, he found this platform and he had a very strong why. So he's going to come up here and talk about it. How do you define and build your brand so that when people think about solar, when they think about this amazing opportunity, you're the first person that they think about. So please help me welcome to the stage, Mr. Jordan Shaw. You got it, brother. You got it.
Thank you.
Line them up.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hey everybody, how's it going? Thank you so much for that. As Jim was saying, that really just the reason in which I jumped on this platform was really just the level of freedom. And one of the key things that I really want to talk about is the fact that I used to be in the IT space for 17 years. And my role prior to coming into the solar space, and in conjunction rather, was the fact that I was actually on the road for about 6 years. And that was time away from my family. Many of you already know that I had a daughter, and if you hadn't, now you do. And she just had her heart surgery back in December when she was 6 months old. And so I got to give a shout out to my wife, who's definitely just really holding down the fort as my, really just like, she likes to say office manager, house manager, you know, all of that. But without her, I couldn't do what I do now. And really, both my wife and my daughter and the time and the level of freedom that this has actually given me is the reason that I'm doing it, right? If it wasn't for this platform, I wouldn't be able to take the time off that I need for her, for my daughter in December. And don't worry, she's doing fantastic. She's like a little firecracker now. I think they tweaked something in there because now she's found her voice and she's really able to scream now. But what I wanted to do is I really want to talk to you today about defining your brand. Now, you may be saying, okay, wait, hang on. We already have a brand. Powur has a brand. Yes, Powur does. But it's just as critical for you to actually have your own brand. And what you need to realize is that you can set the tone of the conversation with your homeowners well before you get to the introduction and you're talking about solar. And what I want to do is I want to talk about the fact that, and I want to start with this quote from Vin. And if you don't know who he is, he's actually a coach for actually public speaking and just talking about how you can use your voice as an instrument. And I just want to say, people don't just hear what you say, they feel what you say. Now, if you remember, like if you're talking to clients on a call and you're going over all the details, do they really honestly remember everything that you said? You're talking about Q cells, you're talking about Enphase, you're talking about payments, all kilowatt hours, kilowatts, all of that, EVs. Do they really remember that? And the answer is really, honestly, no. That's why you have to send a follow-up email with a summary and a proposal, right? Because they're not going to remember all of that. What they're going to remember is actually how you made them feel during that conversation. To give you an example, I just had a client reach out to me from August of last year, and this is one of many as we're leading up to NEM 3.0. where they're like, you know what, I think it's time to do this. I remembered that I feel like you're going to be there for me. So if you could send me the contract, I'm ready to sign it. And that happened literally just yesterday, and I woke up to a signed contract in my inbox. They remembered that I was going to be there for them. I made them feel comfortable in that. And it doesn't matter all the kilowatt hours and all the specs and all that and the warranty and all that. They remembered that I was going to be there and that Powur was going to be there. So what are some of the reasons why clients actually go with Powur? Really, right? If you don't know this, you need to memorize this. Everything from our Inc. status to the hundreds of millions of dollars that we are doing on an annual basis, to the national reach and the fact that we're a certified B Corp. All those bullet points. Those are the reasons that you're able to stand in front of your customer and say, this is the reason I choose to go with Powur, and I think you should do the same. But at the end of the day, they're actually comparing you to other types of companies. They might have multiple quotes, and each company could have its own thing. So every now and again, you'll get to that client, it's like, okay, I just care about cost. I don't care about the company, I just care about cost. So being there for your client may make or break that sale. And so let's think about it. Why would a client actually go with you, right? If everything else is equal, let's say you had the same cost as the other competitor, same panels, same layout, all of that. Why are they going with you? Is your confidence as a trusted advisor shining through, right? And that's what you need to make sure is that you are going to be that guide for them, because they will buy you before they buy Powur. Let me say that again. They will buy you before they buy Powur. So this is why you need to be confident. You need to be professional. One of the easiest ways to actually do so, and if you know, since I've been in the IT space, obviously I was going to talk some technology, all right? To be a trusted advisor, one of the easiest ways you can do that is really just lock down a domain for your brand. It elevates your professionalism, okay? You're able to go in there and say, hey, when you're introducing the company, right, Powur, you can say, this is my brand, this is who I work for, I am the CEO of my own clean energy company. I choose strategic partners to help you through this journey. So and then you can introduce them to Powur. I do that again and again. Out of all the companies I could choose to send you to, I choose Powur. And this is why. And that's something that is very easy for you to do, is just to lock down the domain. If you're like, you know what, Jordan, I barely got on this Zoom. It was a miracle I learned the proposal tool, right? Or I'm still fumbling through that. How do you expect me to be able to do that? Well, guess what? I'm going to kind of show you how you do it. It's really actually easy. You can go over to domains like from Google, for example. I mean, there's a couple other sites out there that you can do this with, but I found Google was one of the easiest to do this with. And I went in there and I just typed in my solar company. It was easy as that. So you go to domains.google.com, type in a name that you think that you would like. Just start thinking about your own personal brand. Look at that. We had mysolar.company. That's actually a premium domain. Anybody going to go ahead and snag that now? Right? I should have done that. But look at that. It's $20 for the entire year. Can anybody afford $20 to lock down your own domain? Come on, right? Now, with that registration, that's a premium one. Most of the time, it's only $12. I actually own referme.solar. That was like a $40 domain. So you can go and actually get this domain registration very easy and set that up. Now, the whole purpose of doing this domain registration is to really honestly level up your email. So if you're talking to a customer and you're like, or potential prospect, and you're like, hey, go ahead and send me your bill. Watch what happens when I say it like this. I say, yes, please send me your bill. Send it to jordan35@hotmail.com. Okay? Watch what happens when I tell the client to send it somewhere else. I say, thank you so much for reaching out to me. Please send me your electric bill, your main panel, your phone number, your email, and send it to mybill@shawenergyconsulting.com. What did that just do? That elevated myself as the professional. I set the tone before I ever actually got on the phone with them, even if I was receiving a phone call, right? I said, I'm going to send you some information, right? And I text them that information. I copy and paste. That's all I have. I have a little template. And that setting up that alias actually makes your business look bigger. And it's actually really easy to do. If you set up the email, when you're doing the domain registration, Google actually allows you to select Google Workspace. And their basic actual license is $6 a month. Now that gives you like 30 gigs of Gmail storage. So if you were a heavy drone user, right, and you think you're going to be uploading a lot to your Google Drive, you might want to go to the next level above that. But that's $6 a month to have something at your email. Think about that. It's like I now have my domain, my own personal space on the web. And when you do that, it allows you to actually take it to the next level. Now, in addition to that, there's actually another section here where you can set up your aliases. So once you've done this component, you actually can then say, oh, I want to set up my bill at shawenergyconsulting.com. Sales, go solar. My customer success manager, Haley, she has her own email address as a user, again, okay? But she also owns success at shawenergyconsulting.com. Because when I respond to a client and I loop her in, automatically they think I have another department, okay? So these are things that you can do very easily to basically take your brand to the next level. And something else I would say is once you've defined just what your business name is going to be, go for the logo. Seriously. Now, this doesn't have to be perfect. I literally went to my friend Brian and I said, hey, you're in the actual, I know you have a creative arts degree. I know you're in creative arts and you're part of a marketing agency. Can you make me a logo? And he says, yeah, sure. Go out and find some stuff that, that you actually like. And after some iterations, we came up with the logo that I have. And when we did that, I suddenly had a voice. I had a voice without me actually speaking. And that's something that, now think about it. When you share the Powur logo, right, you share the products and the marketing and all of that, and you're like, if you're head to toe in Powur, that brand says something, right? So own your brand, own your personal brand. It's very, very easy to do and well worth it, okay? Because what you're doing is you're saying, I'm a professional in this. Now, one of the other things I want to talk about is, are you in stealth mode? Seriously, break out of stealth mode. Make sure that when somebody just Googles you, okay, that you come up front and center for everything that's solar. Now, I'm not saying be robotic in any nature. Like I explained to you, like, hey, we had major heart surgery in my family. I was sharing our updates from the hospital. I wanted to make sure, because I'm connected to my clients. I'm connected to my partners, right? And so I don't just share just general things about solar. Of course, it's very solar heavy, but I want people to actually be able to relate to me as well. So what types of things can you actually post about? Well, once you have your brand set up and everything, and you're pushing through proposals, share those proposals. It does not matter if they've closed. You're doing something in your business. Share a screenshot. Look at this savings. This customer's gonna, look at this layout. Or, hey, we just had different contract milestones like designs and things. Share those. That's something that's free. You have multiple points of literally entry in terms of the proposal, through the contracting milestones that you can share. Those are touch points that you can send out to to all the connections that you have. One of the things you want to also make sure is that you're pretty uniform across your social media. So you see there on my Facebook, it actually says what I do. It says, that I'm working with Powur. I'm founder at Shaw Energy Consulting, but my LinkedIn looks identical to my Facebook. And my Instagram, everything basically from a profile perspective is pretty uniform, okay? And that basically allows you, when they actually search you, that they know they're reaching out to the right person. And again, this goes back to tonality. Think about this. Even though when you're talking to a client and you need to make them feel comfortable, right, through your words, if you have everything set up before you, all right, everything set up correctly, you will be a professional in their eyes far before you ever open up your mouth, all right? And that's my challenge to you. If you are a professional, because everyone is, and you're aspiring to run all the deals and run all, multiple contracts, and you're struggling just to get one, this right here could accelerate your business, could be the catalyst for your business. Level up your knowledge. Definitely do that. Because once you get them on the call, of course you have to come out and say that you are the professional with your words and what you know, right? And if you don't know everything, get with mentors that do. But doing something as simple as defining your brand will set that tone in the conversation, and you will be able to convey yourself as this professional before you ever jump on the call with them. I hope this was helpful. Thank you, everybody.